Hello and welcome to RC Dirt Oval, the podcast. My name is Andy Zeller, and I will be the host here of this show. This is our first episode, and I am very excited to get this show going and bring a lot of information to y'all out there. And in this first episode, it's just me. Obviously, there's a chair here beside me. In future episodes, we're going to have plenty of guests to make it way more interesting, but for the first episode, I wanted to give everybody kind of an idea of what to expect for this show moving forward. So with that said, again, my name's Andy Zeller. I am an RC Dirt Oval racer as well as a track owner. I own First Capital RC located in Seven Valleys, PA. And I thought that would kind of give a different perspective to something like this, offering the track owner perspective as well as a racer's perspective. So one of the reasons I thought starting this might be a good idea. Secondly, I wanted to make a family-friendly podcast and something kind of short that you could listen to on a commute to or from work any given day. But we will be releasing these on Fridays. As I mentioned, we will have other guests on this show. Already talked to a couple people that I'm extremely excited to have involved, and I think they're excited to be a part of it as well. So excited for that. And what we'll do moving forward is on our Facebook page, we will announce who the guest is, and you'll be able to submit any questions that you have for that guest, and I'll be happy to ask them for you. I think one of the other things I wanted to touch on with this podcast is having some of the difficult conversations that we might need to have in this community. I think that there's some stuff that we don't all agree on, but can probably find some common ground on most of it. And ultimately, we're trying to do this and enjoy a hobby that has brought, a lot of entertainment to plenty of us out there. So let's continue to use this and everything else that we have at our disposal to make the hobby better and continue to grow it. This podcast isn't entirely video friendly. There is a camera going. For those watching on YouTube or wherever you're listening to podcasts, we hope that you subscribe and follow along with this. Again, this won't be super video friendly, but we will have other video friendly content on this channel. How-to videos, product reviews, setups, information sorts, all that stuff. I just shot my first how-to video today on how to make a Bandit late model, so look for that coming here very shortly. As I mentioned, the show will be every Friday, though. You can look for that going forward. One of the other main points that I wanted to do with this podcast is use this as a tool to help grow our community in ways that how could we grow the community from a podcast? And the questions that I would ask myself is how can we use this to help tracks? Tracks out there in Pennsylvania here, we are super blessed in that we can travel less than an hour and a half for some of us and hit 6 different tracks any given day of the week, any given weekend, and have somewhere to race. And that's not the case in most places of the country, but we are very blessed here. But with that, how do we help each track stay afloat? Because obviously there's only so many people involved in the hobby in total. So how do we help this track stay afloat versus this track and help everybody continue to grow their individual audiences and, again, the community as a whole? How do we help series? There are a couple series that have started up. I have a particular idea, not for technically a series as we're familiar with them now, but something that I'm sure I'll go over later in the podcast in a different episode. But, how do we support these series? The Underdog series, the Rubber Tire Racing series, these different series that have ran in our area. How do we help them succeed and help them grow? How do we help product manufacturers? There's people that are making new products all the time for this hobby, and really, giving somebody an opportunity to share their product on our podcast and review it and talk about it and show the benefits, that somebody might not be able to get their great idea out there. And if we can use this as a tool to help get that idea out there, that'd be awesome and a win for the whole community. And ultimately, the last question: how do we help racers? We all love this hobby for many different reasons. We like it for the social aspect, I think, going and seeing friends and hanging out and uh, just talking, shooting the crap. We like it because of the competition that's involved in it. There's definitely a competitive side to this sport, and I think that fuels a lot of us, and keeps us staying in it. Where it's never necessarily an easy battle. You're always fighting the track. You're fighting, your own setup and your own skills. Me, for example, if I lose a rhythm, it takes me about 8 laps to get it back, and something that I try to constantly work on and get better. It just happens, and how can we use this podcast to help racers keep being racers and be better racers and be better people and have more fun and et cetera, et cetera. So all of those questions I'm going to constantly be asking myself. I'm going to ask our guests these questions as well. Just some ways that we can try and continue to make this hobby as awesome as it can be. And it really is, I think, one of the coolest hobbies that you could possibly be into, especially in our area. I'll touch on what got me into RC racing. I grew up, I was in diapers at Lincoln Speedway. My dad, I wish I still had the video, used to run the enduro races at Lincoln where they'd have 200 cars on the track. And I remember watching the VHS tape that he had and seeing just over 100 cars on Lincoln, and they're just stuck. Like, a car would wreck and it would be just sitting there, and they'd have to ride it out till the end of the race, and they were stuck there. But everybody's weaving through everybody, and I always loved dirt racing. I never really got into drag racing. I never really got into NASCAR. A little bit here and there, but nothing like the love that I had for dirt oval racing. Growing up at Lincoln, going to the Grove, again in PA, we're so blessed and lucky to have this big sport, big cars around us, and in plenty of different venues and stuff. And then when I found RC racing and that you could do the same thing on small scales, because I had a race car a few years ago, and I ran it a couple years and it didn't really amount to anything, and honestly I couldn't afford it at the time. And with finding RC racing and how it's the same enjoyment, for me anyways, of the competitive side and the excitement of racing, to get that out of these 1/10 scale versions is something truly amazing, and at a way better price point that's way easier to manage. So again, all of these things, goals and ambitions for this show, I hope that everybody out there will enjoy it. If you don't, you can tell me how to fix it. You can tell me how to be better. I welcome any type of criticism and stuff like that. This is ultimately for everybody watching it. So whatever we can do to make it better, give us a shout. Let us know. I will start now. We will read results for the local tracks here on our show, and I'm going to start for this week. Pheasant Land runs on Tuesday nights, and I'll go through their results here. 12T Sportsman, Charlie Reisner finished third. Jonathan Bullock finished second, and Paige Brady was the winner in first. 13.5 Sprint was Corey Milligan in third, Kevin Kuzer in second, and Brian Stout in first. BL2 Mudboss, Ray Horning was third, Pete Ludwig second, and Joe Ilg got the win there. Midwest Mod, Mike Yon in third, Gary Labe in second, and Dave Green gets the win. First Capital then ran on Wednesday night. Novice, third place was Archer Zeller, my son. Barry Arnst was second, and Riley Speidel, another youngster who came out of the rookie class with Archer and is just tearing it up. She got the win there in Novice. There were 5 total cars, a couple adults, and the little youngster got it done. So the youth is thriving. 13-5 Mudboss. Third was Owen Wise, Joe Schrader second. Brian Hughes got the win. 13-5 Sprint. Justin Albright was third. Lucas Montgomery second. And Brian Hughes got the win there as well. Brian Huggies. Mod Sprint. Landon Godfrey got third. Joe Schrader second. And Rowdy Hefner got the win there. Bandit Late Model. Jeff Mumper was third. Travis Angle was second. And Sean Good, the Bandit boss, got her done. Crate Late Model, Landon Godfrey was third, Rob Steitley was second, and Justin Albright was first. Midget, Owen Wise was third, Chris Speidel second, and Rowdy Hefner got the win there as well. Mod Late Model was Lucas Montgomery driving my car in third, Rob Steitley second, and Justin Albright got the win. Mud Boss was Mike Yasovsky in third, Owen Wise in second, and Joe Schrader in first. And last but not least, Traxxas Modified was Mike Yasovsky second and Barney Tan first. We're missing a couple of those there on Wednesday night, but I believe I'm trying to get a hold of one here on Saturday. So hopefully get a couple more of those racers out. The Traxxas, I swear, man, I was very skeptical of these cars when they first came out, and I raced one this past Sunday for a whole show at First Capital, and I fell in love with that car. I loved how they sounded at first. It was like the dumbest little thing. I was, geeking about how they sounded and how through the turn every time. I loved it. And now, after I got to drive one, they really are a lot of fun to drive. Everybody's like, oh, I guess because it's a Slash, it's going to feel exactly the same. Nothing like a regular Mud Boss. So, and I'm glad they changed the name. It was the right thing to do. So, yeah, Traxxas Modified. I definitely can see these things hanging around. They might, pass the test of time. Thursday night, which is the night I'm shooting this, but Ultimate RC runs on Thursdays. We'll go through their results. Stock Mud Boss, third place went to Kyle Horning, and second was Mike Salad. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Or Saladay. Maybe? I don't know. Mike Saladay, Salad, whatever it is. I'm sure I'm wrong. And Aaron Roshong got the win. Midget, third was George Vardsik. TJ Gockley got second, and John Pauly got first. 13-5 Sprint, third was Glenn Killian. TJ Gockley again second, and Keith Fletcher got the win. Novice was Liv Eberly in third, Tim Diebler in second, and Ed Wise got the win. Mini Mud Boss, Richard Rays and Sean Good, the Bandit Boss, second. John Pauly got the win in that as well. Traxxas Mod there, Gary Labe got third, Aaron Roshong got second, and Kerry Siegfried pulled off the win. And last but not least, 17-5 Sprint, Rowdy Hefner got third, John Pauly got second, and Phil Marabella got her done in 17-5 Sprint. As for this upcoming weekend, Pheasantland is racing this Friday, I believe, on the Big Track. So Big Track racing on Pheasantland the night of this release. LCRC has the Cancer Race all weekend, the 19th through the 22nd. I believe that's still an off-road race only, but, big race there. Stobbs and Loco Joes are both racing this Saturday, and then Ultimate and First Capital race on Sunday. Again, I am thrilled that you have checked out this podcast. Normally, our episodes, I said, will go roughly around 20 minutes. Want to look at the 20-minute mark. It might be a little harder with guests here and stuff like that, but ultimately, that's what we're looking to keep with moving forward. So if there's stuff that you'd like to see, certain guests that you'd like to see, if you'd like your results read, reach out to the show's Facebook page, RC Dirt Oval on Facebook, and shoot us a message, and we'll be sure to consider that for the future and moving forward. Again, thank you so much. Ask that you subscribe, follow along, share it with people you think would enjoy the show. And until next time, next Friday, we'll release our next episode. And our first guest, I believe, is going to be Preston Selfinger. That might change, but as of now, I believe it's going to be Preston. So we'll plan on that. And again, if you want to submit any questions, I will have a post on the Facebook page that you guys could ask any questions for Preston. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hope for great weather. I think weather looks good all weekend. So hopefully some good racing weather this weekend. You guys will have fun racing out there. And best of luck. And until next time, we'll catch you on the next one.